My cat never acted strange until we moved into this house. It's an old place, the kind where the floors creak and every gust of wind sounds like a whisper, but it felt like home. At least it did at first. Then every single night, like clockwork, he'd go to the top of the basement stairs and just sit there. He wouldn't move. He'd just be frozen, staring down into the darkness as if he was in a trance. It was creepy, but I figured it was just an old house with mice or something. I was wrong. It wasn't that he was looking at something. It felt like something was looking back at him. Every night, Mizzo would take up his post at the top of the basement steps. He would just sit there, completely still, his eyes locked on the darkness below. It wasn't his usual curious stare. This was different. He looked mesmerized, almost like he was waiting for something. I tried calling him, offering treats, even picking him up and moving him, but he'd always find his way back to that same spot, staring down into the abyss. The air around the basement door always felt colder, heavier. At first, I dismissed it as a draft, but as the days turned into weeks, I started to feel it too. A sense of being watched from the bottom of those stairs. Mizzo wasn't just looking into an empty basement. He was having a staring contest with whatever lived down there. One night, the silence was broken. I was in the living room trying to read, but I couldn't focus. That's when I heard it. A faint scraping sound coming from below. It was like something heavy being dragged slowly across the concrete floor. Scrape, pause, scrape. Then Mizzo started growling. It wasn't his usual playful growl. This was a deep, guttural sound that seemed to vibrate through the floor. It was a sound of pure terror, but also anger. I went to the top of the stairs, and he was there, his fur standing on end, his back arched. He was ready to fight something I couldn't see. And the dragging sound just kept going, getting closer to the bottom of the steps. My heart was hammering against my ribs, but I had to know what was down there. I grabbed the heavy flashlight from the kitchen drawer and slowly, carefully opened the basement door. A wave of cold, musty air hit me in the face. I flicked on the light, its beam cutting a sharp, nervous path through the pitch black. Taking a deep breath, I started down the creaking wooden stairs. My breath was fogging in the frigid air. The dragging sound had stopped. The silence was almost worse. I swept the light across the damp stone walls, and that's when I saw them. Claw marks scratched deep into the old foundation. They were long and possibly deep, and they looked fresh. My blood ran cold. Whatever made these marks wasn't a rat. I reached the bottom of the stairs, my flashlight beam shaking in my hand. In the far corner, where the shadows were thickest, something moved. It wasn't a sudden movement, but a slow, deliberate unfolding, like a broken umbrella opening in reverse. It was tall, so thin it looked like a charcoal sketch against the wall. Its limbs were too long, and they bent at angles that were just wrong. It straightened up, and then a voice slithered out from that corner. It wasn't a shout, but a dry, rasping whisper that sounded like dead leaves skittering across pavement. It said, "Your cat remembers me." A blood-curdling screech ripped through the basement. It was Mizzo. Before I could even scream, the basement door at the top of the stairs slammed shut with a deafening boom, plunging me into complete darkness. My flashlight clattered to the floor and went out. Panic seized me. I scrambled back up the stairs, fumbling in the dark for the doorknob, and then the scratching started. Not from the corner, but on the other side of the door. Frantic, desperate scratching, getting louder and louder. Every night, it came back. The scratching, louder each time. Now, Mizzo never leaves that spot. He sits guard at the top of the basement stairs, a silent sentinel. I realized that thing, whatever it is, wasn't here for me. It never was. It was here for him, and Mizzo remembers. He remembers, and he's not letting it out. If you liked the video, please like and kindly subscribe. We'll see you next video.